Welcome to the tutorial on social media analytics and content strategies. This tutorial will discuss how journalists can find social media analytics reports to improve their social media presence. It will also describe how journalists can effectively develop a social media content strategy for promoting their work and building a relationship with their audience, which is certainly a fundamental concept for this course. Similar to Google Analytics, there are social media analytics reports that will provide you with data on your audience, your effectiveness in using various social media platforms, and other helpful data related to your performance on each social media platform. Most social media platforms have their own analytics reports that you can use for free in order to determine whether you have been effectively using the platform to promote your work. For example, Facebook collects data on your fan pages that it calls insights, as does Instagram. Plus, Twitter and YouTube have their own analytics data. These give you a great understanding of which social media platforms you may be using effectively and which ones you may not be using effectively. They will also give you an overall ranking of how successful your social media posts and comments are so that you know whether you're engaging with your audience enough online. When it comes to improving your social media presence and connecting with your audience effectively, you need to make sure you fully understand where you're starting from. Therefore, your first step will be to analyze your social media metrics on each platform in order to determine what social media posts have received the most interaction and clicks from your audience, what social media channels or types of posts get your audience responding to your comments and viewing your website, and what days and specific times have been most effective for your posts in terms of creating engagement with your audience and getting people to click on the hyperlinks you've provided. Once you analyze that data across all of your social media platforms, you'll be able to identify some of the gaps in your social media presence. Then you can begin to develop your social media content strategy. This strategy is basically your plan of action for how you'll promote your future stories and when you'll post comments on various social media platforms to engage your audience in your subject. Before you do anything with your social media posts, though, you need to ensure that your social media profiles on each social media platform are all completely filled out. This means that you have a description of what you have done that should include multiple keywords that would appeal to your target audience, a picture that represents your work, at the very least a profile picture, also on many platforms a banner picture, and a statement of what your followers can expect or get out of you if they follow you on that social media platform. The picture that represents your work may be different on each social media platform. Each social media channel has its own formatting requirements and size requirements for the profile pictures and banner pictures, so you may have to change things up a little bit from platform to platform. That's fine. Just be sure that your images are sized properly for each social media platform and that they're similar to one another so that your overall social media presence has consistency. You also want to check what those pictures look like on both a computer and a mobile device so that you can make sure that they appear like quality images no matter what platform someone's viewing them on. The most important thing you need to do before you develop your social media content strategy is to determine the voice and tone you want to use across all of your social media posts. You need to select a tone that you can use consistently on every social media platform and a tone that's authentic. You need to be professional but show some personality and show that you're human. Social media is a cross between being social and personable, which in large part means being natural and still being professional. Therefore, you want to select a tone that will allow you to connect with your audience on a common level, but that will also establish you as a person who reports information that an audience can trust is true. This is probably one of the most challenging steps in developing your social media content strategy. As a result, it may take you some time to find your voice. Take your time and experiment with different voices on your social media platforms to see what you feel most comfortable with and to see what creates the most amount of engagement from your online audience. Once you've determined the tone you want to use throughout your social media promotions, you can figure out which social media channels you want to use. This will require you to analyze a few things, including what social media channels your target audience uses most frequently so that you know what platforms you should be on in order to reach those people. That's something that Pew Research data and Google Analytics demographics data can help you determine, since that'll give you insights into who your target audience is, and you can match those demographics to the audience of each social media platform. Also, you need to think about what social media platforms you have the time to post on frequently enough to be effective in using them. And you need to consider what social media platforms you have the resources for, since some platforms require lots of videos or images, and your beat or your reporting tools or even your location or time constraints may not lend themselves to using those resources. After determining the social media channels you'll be using to promote your stories and engage your target audience in conversations online, you need to set a minimum for the number of times you will post comments on each social media channel every week. Each social media platform has a different type of use, which means it has a different number of weekly posts that are acceptable. As a result, your goals for the frequency of your post will vary from platform to platform. For example, on Twitter, it's perfectly acceptable to post 5 times a day, particularly if you're posting comments about breaking news or story updates. The same is true on Google+. However, on Facebook, people don't want to see so many updates throughout the day. They would rather see you post one very important comment each day. LinkedIn operates similarly and is rarely used by people on the weekends, so it's best to only post one comment on that site each weekday. But Instagram followers want to hear from you throughout the day, so posting twice in one day is actually best on that social media platform. Optimizing the timing of your social media posts will be important as well. You want to ensure that your posts are seen by members of your target audience, which means you want to post your comments at the times that those people are most likely to be on the social media channel you're using. Therefore, it's important to learn when each social media platform has the most traffic. On Twitter, traffic is highest from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time on weekdays. However, Facebook has a broader time range of high traffic, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Time on weekdays. LinkedIn, though, has a short period of high traffic, which is first thing in the mornings, especially on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Similarly, Google Plus only experiences high volumes of users on weekday mornings from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., and Instagram is most popular during lunch from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on weekdays. Therefore, you need to plan out what times and days you'll post comments on each social media platform so that you can successfully reach your target audience and engage your followers in digital conversations. It can seem daunting to have so many social media comments to post each week. To help you handle that daunting task, you will want to prepare in advance a number of different types of comments that you can post online throughout the week. There are 5 main types of social media posts: plain text comments, comments that include hyperlinks to websites, either your website or someone else's, comments that include images like photographs or infographics or even videos, comments that include quotes from people, either famous quotes or new quotes you've obtained through the interviews you've done, and reshares, which are comments that other people posted that you're sharing with your followers because you support those comments. To give consistency to your social media presence, you want to select one type of social media comment to make regularly. This will become your staple type of post. However, in order to prevent your followers from getting bored with your posts, you'll want to incorporate other types of comments occasionally. The standard suggestion is to post 4 of your staple comments and then post one other type of comment. That will break up things enough to keep your followers engaged in your posts, but also let them know what to expect from you. When you are determining what kinds of comments you want to post to your social media platforms, be sure to consider the content of what you will post and the resources you will use to post those comments. Anytime you can incorporate images or videos into your posts, you will see a much higher level of engagement from your followers than you would if you just used a plain text comment. Additionally, if you use hashtags to identify the subject of your post or you use numbers to break up the text contained in your post, you'll see a higher level of engagement as well. Quotes, particularly those that are reporting new information, will also increase your audience engagement online. Once you've considered all the content strategies we've discussed so far, you will need to try out your social media plan and see if it's effective in driving additional traffic to your website and increasing your digital engagement with your audience. This is essentially the beta testing phase of your social media content strategy, in which you'll experiment with what works and what doesn't work for your social media posts across various social media platforms and what works for your schedule. To determine the effectiveness of your social media use, you'll want to establish goals for yourself right from the beginning, such as goals relating to the number of followers you have on each social media website, the number of clicks you get on the hyperlinks you post, etc. Then, if you meet your goals, you will know that your social media strategy is effective. However, if you don't meet your goals, then you'll know that your social media strategy needs to be revised. Comparing your social media and website analytics from 1 week or even 1 month to the next is also a great way to determine whether your social media posts have increased traffic to your website or increased your level of engagement with your audience by causing you to have more digital conversations through your social media posts. After you have beta tested your social media content strategy and found a system that works effectively for you and your audience, then you will want to automate the process of posting on various social media platforms. This can be done by using a social media management tool to schedule your weekly posts and send you notifications about any comments you receive on your posts. Just please remember that you can never walk away from your social media channels after you schedule your posts for the week. Social media truly requires you to be social, which means you have to engage with your followers whenever they comment on your posts, like your posts, reshare your posts, etc. And you have to engage with them and the posts that they put out there. This will definitely take up a lot of your time if you do it right. However, you can make it easier on yourself by setting up notifications on your social media websites for every time you receive comments and reshares. You can also set up general alerts online, such as through Google Alerts, for any time you and the subject of your posts are mentioned on the internet. That way it will be easy for you to remember when you need to respond to comments from your followers and update them on new developments in the field. Those are just some of the ways journalists can use a social media content strategy to drive traffic to their website and improve their relationship with their followers. Moving forward, force yourself to create a social media content strategy and actually implement it to help you promote your stories effectively through different social media platforms. With time and practice, you'll get used to implementing that social media content strategy, and it'll simply become an automatic part of your weekly routine as a journalist. Thank you for listening, and good luck successfully using all of your social media channels.